Ching email 2. On the previous one, we were talking about Aleister Crowley's extensive use of the Ching, which many people didn't realize that he did. And this section here that I had printed out when I did have a printer for my computer, which you do not have now, this section all through here talks about what Crowley thinks of the I Ching and gives an idea of how he confirms it with the Tree of Life and also the Tao or the Tao. He makes a great deal of connection between those two things also. Now, this is that section explaining how he does it. Also, as I mentioned on the footnotes, what he does is make them poetic when he makes a side view from the Leggy translation, which he put on the side. So when he does it, if you read them in this section, which shows very clearly what he did with each one, not only talking about what the hexagram means, but then when he does each line, he will only do the first words in that section for each line, but he'll do it in a poetic way. For example, I will read you the very first one. This is the Khien, called Linguin of Linguin. That is the first hexagram of all solid lines. This is what he says. He says, Quin originated from the term piercing, advantageous, right, and firm. Now here's what he does with each of the 6 lines, and you can hear how some of this seems to be poetic. It says, the dragon lurks. It is no time to act. A dragon's in the field. How to make thy pact. Be active, watchful, using care and tact. The dragon leaps, a bursting cataract. The dragon plows the sky with pace exact. Expose not, dragon, lest thou force reacts. If all these heavenly hosts of the dragon lacked their heads, good fortune would become a fact. Notice how it takes each line and does it poetically. Now, what Crowley does all the way through here with all of the hexagrams is done exactly in the same way. You will also, of course, see them drawn out in the correct line form, which you see right here, and then those same comments all the way through. And that section then gives you a good idea of how Crowley interprets each one and keeps each line poetically. And of course, you will get to the end of it, and that final one you will see here. He also takes each section and calls it, when you see this one, he calls the sun and the moon. Now, many translations won't say that, but this it gives you some idea of the way Crowley does this. Now, also, in this section, what I have gotten also is some people who wrote back about what I had said about that, and that is in this section. Also, this section talks about Crowley's disciples, and that includes the one who did the paintings for his tarot cards. So this whole section is on Crowley and the I Ching, which many people do not realize the fact that he has used it extensively. You will see that mostly in the last part of the book of THOTH, where he connects all of these with the Kabbalah Tree of Life. This section will be on I Ching email 2.